In my few years alive, I've had a brush with this monster called joblessness, on and off, and I can tell you with such authority that it is not a place that you want to be in. But all along as I was in that particular situation, the only thing that probably I did not have were maybe academic papers or opportunities and such like stuff. But there's something that you can never take away from me that I'd had all along, which I could have actually used for my good and for my benefit. And that's the same thing that very many people in the jobless situation right now are not taking advantage of. And that's something I call purpose. In the next few episodes, I want to talk about how purpose can actually result into profit. And I'm going to break down for you what I mean by the word purpose. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Without wanting to be too motivational about this, there are stories upon stories that are told of people who died while in the midst of supplies. I read a story in one of these books that I've always been reading. I can't remember the exact book. Maybe it's called Made to Stick, I think. And in this book, they tell a story of a particular community that starved during the World War, maybe World War I or World War II. And in that vicinity of that community where they were starving, there was actually a doctor or a scientist or a botanist who had gone and gathered around himself researches about resilient plants and seeds. So he had a big time store of seeds that they could actually have used to plant, and they could have had yields, and sometimes maybe they could have even eaten directly the seeds because it was in dire straits, in dire circumstances. But let me tell you, in that very community, in the midst of a warehouse full of thousands of seeds, children were dying, families were being disoriented, hunger was striking people left, right, and center. And there was a respite within them, around them. That is the same thing with some of us who have been jobless before, and we're facing financial difficulties, and we're facing oblivion in society, and we are really suffering. All along that we are suffering, there are things that we could be using to get out of our situations. And I'm not looking down on us in any way. I'm not saying that, the only thing that I want to say is this, that we have been brought up to depend on one kind of an answer in terms of us making money and us becoming economical and so on. And that answer has always been a job. We've been taught that you've got to go to school, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It is one way, valid by the way. In fact, if I can just go on a tangent here, and let me tell you, school has provided very many people with very many opportunities by their millions over decades. In fact, over very many decades. Those people who have gone to school, shown their intellectual ability and so on, they have come out of school, and some have become doctors, some have become engineers, some have become very wealthy people because they went to school. So don't think that I'm in one way or another bashing school and bashing education. What I'm saying is that it is one way of getting economical, one way of getting a job and upping your economics. It is one way. It is, however, not the only way available for us to get respite economically in society. It is not the only way. The only problem that I have with it is that all of us are told that it is the only way. You've got to go there and get good grades. Even the guys who are not academically gifted. And by the way, you might be academically gifted, yes, but you still have some natural gifts and some natural talents that you can be able to put to use. But we don't do that. We put them on the back burner and we go around in circles trying to follow through that one path. Let me tell you the problem. The problem is that whereas the jobs are there for people, they are not enough. They are not enough for every single one who has a degree, every single one who has a university master's, everyone who has a PhD, even those guys who have PhDs. But let me tell you something. I don't have a degree. But there's a time I was working in Ghana, and how I ended up there is a different story altogether. And I called for people to be interviewed. I wanted to interview people to recruit them. And I needed higher diploma people. But let me tell you this. In 2 instances in Ghana, there are guys who came with master's degrees. And there's a guy who is me interviewing guys who have masters for a job that I needed for higher diploma. The same thing happened to me when I was in Uganda. Doing the same thing. I needed a group of people to recruit 100 people to send out into the field to do a particular thing, and I just needed a bare minimum of higher diploma. And guys who come into those interviews by their droves with high papers. In fact, I go to learn that some of them actually remove the masters out of their repertoire so that they don't look overqualified. The point I am making is simply this, that yes, there is an avenue of getting a job, getting employment, and getting something to do when you have academic papers. But in the same breath, it's a two-edged sword. You can have academic papers, but you still do not have a job. It is happening today, not just in Kenya, not just in Uganda, not just in Tanzania, not just in Ghana, the whole wide world. However, what I'm championing from today on is something totally different. We're going to call it purpose to profit. And this is what I mean. That all along, you are trying to look for a job through an academic avenue. You are gifted in one way or another. Either you have an idea, either you have passion for something, either you have gifts and talents, or you do have a calling. And these things are obvious. You do not need to go to school to have these 4 things I'm talking about. They are obvious. Some of them are recognized as early as 9 years of age, 5 years of age, and so on. But we bench these things to put them on the back burner and we don't follow through. Why is that? See, let me tell you my story even as I come to a close of this episode today. I knew that I could write. I knew that I could write. Why did I know that I could write? Because I was in school. And in school, the teacher, English teacher, literature teacher who gave us writing exercises, tests, whatever. And every single time, there was not a single time, I cannot remember a single time that anybody bet me to creative writing. I cannot remember. And I went to high school with the same thing. I remember writing some things and so on. And there's a particular teacher who commented, a new teacher who had been brought in to mark our work, not our normal literature teacher. And instead of giving me marks and saying 90 over whatever, he just said, this guy has great potential. And that spoke to me directly. But what did I do with that knowledge that I have potential in writing? And I could write. And I still can't be able to write. What did I do with that? I did not do anything special about it. I did not even consider for 1 minute or another, and tomorrow I'm going to share with you the 4 or 5 reasons as to why we do not monetize our purpose, 4 or 5 reasons as to why we do not turn our purpose into profit. And I just could not connect that this is where my bread is going to be buttered. And for 25 plus years, I could not use the gift that I had, the natural gift that I had, to monetize it. What happened? In between, all along, there are occasions upon occasions where I've had embarrassing episodes. For example, being locked out of a house. You come back, you find the landlord has put a massive padlock on the house. Why? Because you do not have finances to pay for the rent, or you're basically chased. I've been chased out of a house, and the landlord held back my stuff, my cooker, my TV, my electronics, and so on, because I couldn't pay for the house. But all along that those things were happening, I remember there's a time that I could not pay my house rent, and it was a small house actually, 1 room, not even a house, 1 room. And this is what happened. The landlord could come and ask for his money in the morning, and in the evening has a lot of pity on me and sends his daughters to give me food. And that happened for quite a long time. But all along, what I'm saying, friends, is that all along that this was happening, this guy could write, this guy could speak. And in the world, what we need to do is to connect our gifts and our talents and our ideas and our passion and our calling to some kind of problem that is pervaded on the face of the earth, or to some kind of value that we can be able to add to people. And then we do what? We earn from it. That is what I am calling purpose to profit. And I want to teach people how I've been able to turn it around so that my purpose now is generating profit. In this world today, we're living in what we call the gig economy. If you Google the gig economy, one of the articles you find will tell you that 40% of Americans, before the COVID-19 came, 40% of Americans were working in the gig economy. 40% of workers in America were working in the gig economy. What is the gig economy? It is not a job where you are, employed and you're given a lifetime employment where you're going to retire with benefits. No, it's changing to such a way that people are giving small contracts. People are actually freelance workers. It's a freelance economy. It's growing big time. And the guys who are going to benefit from this freelance economy are people of purpose. And basically everyone is a person of purpose. People who have gifts, people who have talents, people who have ideas, people who have passion, and people who have a calling are the ones who are going to benefit from this. So we need to start talking about this with the same breath and with the same intensity and urgency that we've been talking about the education system and jobs. Because as you can see, many of us who are gifted and who have academic papers do not have jobs. But it doesn't take away the fact that if you look on the ground, there are issues that can be solved with gifts and talents, with passion and with ideas and with a calling. There are problems that can be solved. There's value that can be added on the ground. You don't need an academic paper to do that. The problem is we do not know that this is going to be done, and we do not know how it is going to be done, and so we don't get to move our purpose into profit. Thank goodness. That is what I want to do. That's what I focus to teach people. And listen to me. For that reason, I have created an online course called Purpose to Profit that I'm going to offer to people initially. This course is worth $250. But initially, I'm going to throw away this course to people, to teach people to convert their purpose into profit. I'm going to offer it for $30 out there. And you can find the link towards that course in the write-up for this episode. I'm going to offer it to people. We've already created a book around it, and we're giving that book away for free for those guys who are going to pay the $30. a PDF. There's going to be a workbook out of it. There is a course, an online course that has been created, and then we're going to create an online community that is going to help people to be accountable one to another, mentor one to another, open markets one to another, and basically walk this journey of converting our purpose into profit. We cannot continue sleeping hungry when we are gifted and talented. Being embarrassed and not having economies going on when we are gifted and when we are talented. Listen, I am not promising you heaven here on earth. I'm not saying it's easy and cheap. I'm not a motivational speaker who is going to tell you lies. It's going to call for you to work hard, for me to give you the strategies and to show you how I've been able to turn mine, and so that you can have a pathway of turning your purpose into profit. That is my calling. That is my work in the next several years, actually for the rest of my time. I have come to discover my purpose, and I've come to want to monetize my purpose, and I want as many people as possible to do the same. Listen, if you have a job and you are content with it, this is not for you. I am talking to people who know for sure that they are gifted, know for sure that they have a talent, know for sure that they have a calling. And by the way, even if you did not know you have a purpose, you have a gift and a talent and a passion, I am your guy. We can help one another. I can help you to discover what those ones are, and it's part of the process. But the course is going to be available from the 5th of April, and the registration is all the way up to the 31st of March, and we close it, then we move on until we open it to a later date. Tomorrow I'm going to come back and share with you something else about purpose to profit, but I want you to start thinking about this. Could it be possible that you are sleeping on something that is an answer already, that God put an answer inside of you or within you or in your vicinity, and you're struggling to look elsewhere? That's the question that we need to answer in the next episodes. But until then, bye-bye. A special shout out to my mentor Jeffrey Howard of Visionary Business University, found at mastermindmentor.com, who has graciously provided me with the soundtrack and the introductory track to this podcast. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.